Big Chauncey was good. Melanated peoples. My man Shay Woon, what's good, brother? What's good? CC Security Solutions, my man Chris Eggers stole my story yesterday. I want to do a recap with you, man. That story is too damn important. Too damn important. Cannabis, my man Shay Woon, you back from the motherland yet? I gotta come out there, man. I gotta come out there to Boston, check out the shop. I'll be back up in Portland probably in a couple of weeks. Man, I miss you, brother. Miss you, brother. Chef Stacy, what up? Vegas is in the house. What's good? What's good? What's good? Excellence in Cannabis. What's up? What's happening? Yes. What's happening, everybody? Rico Lamite here, founder of Cannavision Global, One Network, many voices, also co-producer, correspondent for State of Cannabis NewsHour, where you can get your daily dose. Catch me and 11 other cannabis industry thought leaders running through the news stories every single morning. We have great debates. Every story is 4 minutes and 20 seconds. And I try to make sure that I keep it connected with the community as well. Give you guys some good stories that matter the most to the community as a whole. Not just people who look like me, not just people who think like me or act like me, but it's always good to have a healthy debate. And I'm always down for it, man. I'm always down for you guys to critique the fuck out of me too. So big ups to everybody. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Yesterday, I took the day off. It was a long weekend. Big shout out to everybody in Chicago. Showed so much love, especially Chicago. The event was incredible. Speakeasy event. South Loop. I miss you guys, man. I miss the South Side, South Loop as well. Hopefully you guys get to keep the Chicago Bears. They won't move out to Arlington Heights, but hey, I don't care because I'm not a Bears fan. You guys giving me heat already. What up, Reg? Big shout out to my man, Billy the Baker. Billy the Baker came through with the gear, man. I love the hat. It's high quality shit too, man. Embroidered in front, embroidered on the side too, man. Got to get me some other colors of this, man. And I will be dropping cash. Make sure you guys check out Billy the Baker. My man, Billy Cross, Black-owned baker, chef. You name it, has 2 restaurants in Chicago. And you might be doing some stuff in the cannabis industry. Hopefully we can get those conversations moved a little forward. But I did take the yesterday off. I needed some downtime, y'all. I don't have the energy like I used to. And I had to make sure I had to have full force for today. When it's daddy daycare. Not only that, but it is on Tuesdays we have Daddy Daughter Beach Day. Only the dopest of dads hit Venice Beach on Tuesdays. So if you guys ever want to meet me up there and have a daddy sesh and play with the kiddos, I'm always for it. Yes, daddy first, always. So let's hop on into it. All right, so today's story coming out of Portland, Maine, not Portland, Oregon, but Bay Area, California, rooted in the Last Prisoner Project. Back Rosemary Jane opened its first East Coast adult use retail location this past weekend in downtown Portland, Maine. This Thursday, September 23rd, 2021, they're going to be holding their official grand opening ribbon cutting ceremony, hosting the city's business and government leaders, as well as Portland's Regional Chamber of Commerce, led by principals Eric Murray and Evelyn LaChapelle. 2 prominent faces from Last Prisoner Project leadership. Rosemary Jane says that they're led by a devoted team of social equity owners, community leaders, justice-impacted advocates, and hospitality experts, and describes themselves as leading women-empowered social equity cannabis retailer and force for caring for people, plant, and planet. Eric is a former Fortune 500 CRE executive and top producer, focused on wealth accumulation and community impact through real estate investment and development. Evelyn LaChapelle, if you guys have not heard about her, read up on her, man. She's an incredible person. She's a formerly incarcerated events coordinator and community liaison, now utilizing her professional position within the legal cannabis industry to advocate for restorative justice. In 2013, she was convicted on 3 charges related to minor role in cannabis distribution, operation, and sentenced to 87 months in federal prison with no prior record. February 2019, she was released and begun her 4-year probation sentence. She's recently found success in the industry working at her hometown Oakland-based Vertosa as the host of IG segment, The Heart of Cannabis, and is building her own luxury cannabis brand, 87, with a mission to build a platform for the formerly incarcerated to find their path into the industry. Besides Eric and Evelyn, Thursday's event will include Maine's Inside Out Director and Commissioner on the Permanent Commission on Status of Racial, Indigenous, and Maine tribal populations, Bruce King, and Maine State Representative Grayson Lookner. Per Eric Murray in the article, in the press release, he said, Rosemary Jane is unapologetically fighting for freedom, women's empowerment, and social equity for all in cannabis, standardizing the industry for a force of good. Portland, Maine is the ideal destination to serve as our first East Coast retail location in what we feel is the most diverse, equitable, and sustainable city on the Eastern Seaboard. Interesting. I've never really heard much about Portland, Maine. I want to hear from some people out there. What's up, Maine? We look forward to working with the greater Portland community to break down the stereotypes and stigmas of our industry. To celebrate Rosemary Jane, Portland will be donating 10% from the first 350 customers' revenue to Recovery Maine, and their mission is to improve the quality of life of those transitioning into the community through a variety of comprehensive substance abuse services. They also will be supporting and partnering with Maine Inside Out, an organization that activates individuals and communities to imagine and embody freedom through art, advocacy, and support, and transformative justice. Rosemary Jane plans to open 3 more shops in the Bay, 2 in Oakland by the end of the year, and San Fran by 2022. Very ambitious. This is a big positive to anybody who's in support of BIPOC representation in the MSO world, as well as folks who've been following Evelyn's redemption journey over the years, like myself. I'm a big fan. What's up, Evelyn? I know I love seeing all this positivity in the headlines lately tied to Black women and their business efforts. It gives me a bit of hope that my daughter will have a strong female leader to watch in her dad's industry, whether or not she chooses to get in the game herself. Congrats to the RMJ team for this week's Portland opening, and the best of luck on both coasts. I just want to hop into the questions real quickly here, man. So Portland, Maine, equity is officially on the map. Are we going to be seeing more positive headlines coming out of the New England market? My homeboy is on here right now. Shay Woon, if you're still on here, man, hit me up, man. I want to hear a little bit about that New England market, man. It's really encouraging to see Black and brown folks getting in, not just on the equity side, but just getting into the market in the Northeast there. And I really did not know much about Maine, period. So it's really cool to see Black folks doing things in Portland, Maine. I got to go check that out. Let's see. It doesn't matter to the local community that both Rosemary Jane's faces, Eric Murray and Evelyn LaChapelle, are NorCal based if their cause behind the movement is pure. That's a loaded question. So 2 things there. All right, number 1, I think as long as they make the do right by the community where they are, and they're making sure that they're getting opportunities to the people that are based there that have not built out what they have been, I'm all for it. You're creating jobs, you're creating opportunities for people to come up, for people to learn the industry on the legal side, and you're just doing your thing out there. Those licenses aren't going to fill themselves, and I don't know. I am for that as long as the right communications are made, the right connections are made on the ground, and they're respecting the legacy market there, number 1, and they're also respecting the people that have done things before them, just the local community, know what is going on before they get out there, know the politics. All of that, as long as that's respected, I'm all for it, man. What BIPOC-led MSOs are you looking to see expand into new markets? Shay Woon, if you're still on here, brother, hit me up, man. I want to see where Elevate Cannabis is going next. I think Elevate Cannabis was actually the first. So suggesting the place to be, New York. What's happening? I think Elevate Cannabis, my boy Shay Woon, Adedeji, I think he was the first Black owned MSO when he ended up getting his licensure out in Boston when he first got started out in Portland. I brought him on stage with me at one of my events 4 years ago. Is that right, brother? 4 years ago. His first thing on stage, and he fucking killed it. And he's been killing it ever since, man. He's the youngest at the time. He's the youngest multi-state operator in the industry, youngest Black owner in the industry, and he continues to just like win. So I want to see Elevate Cannabis grow into a huge multi-state, multinational force. That would be awesome, man. Like capitalism or not, we are in a capitalist society, and MSOs, that's where the money's at, man. They're the only ones with runway long enough to keep their lights on without having to kiss ass and do a lot of unscrupulous things. Is what it is right now. Who else? I know Cookies is doing a lot of things in multiple states right now. I'm not sure how many states that they are in. I think they're trying to do a lot of stuff in the Northeast too. I saw they're getting in the game in Jersey, in Florida too. I believe Burner is a brother too. No disrespect, but I believe Burner is a brother. What some other Black-owned MSOs or even BIPOC led MSOs? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, everybody at home. Who else you guys want to see win from state to state? All right. Yes, indeed. All right, my man Maximilian 420. His question is, how many Black and Brown owned MSOs do we need to actually even the playing field with with all of these white owned ones? Every single one of them. I really don't know how many BIPOC led or owned MSOs there are in the industry. Probably can't count them all on one hand. Full stop. There's a ton of white owned ones. And we've got a lot of runway to go. We've got a lot of catching up to do there. 4%, man. 4% Black owned in this industry. It's a fucking shame. And when it comes to multi-state operations, man, we're trying to get our thing going on a local level. So we have a lot of work to do there, man. It's a good question. I think there's layers to that, man. We can actually have like an 2-hour-long conversation, debate on why there aren't more Black or Brown MSOs in or outside of cannabis. It goes all the way back to opportunity. Number one, capital is at the root of that. Black and Brown folks just don't have the same capital or have the same backing and have the same opportunities as our white counterparts in business. That's not just in cannabis, that's in mainstream business as well. I think the cannabis industry is as a microcosm of the greater business world, the greater world, period. And we just got some catching up to do, Black folks, Brown folks, got to come together, and we got to grow. But the other side of that, I would also argue is we're all about our communities. MSOs, you got to have more of a bland offering, and you got to have more of a malleable representation of yourself, your own persona. You have to be able to shift. You have to be able to work with a lot of different areas and their local communities, where Black and Brown communities, man, we're all about helping our people out, and every single community is different. So I think we have to win on the local level, and we're more about that bottom up game than top down. There's no disrespect and there's no love lost on anybody who is doing things from state to state, nation to nation. But where we are right now as a nation, we just don't have enough numbers. We don't have, and that comes from people, and it also comes from the money. It's a great question, man. I'd love to get into that. Man, that's a really good one, man. I'd love to get into that debate. I should write about that one this week. Thank you for that. What up, everybody? Social justice is the place to be. What's happening in New York? DB1 Husker, what up? School social work solutions in the place to be. What's happening? My wife is she is not a social worker. She's actually at LCSW. She's the director of mental health for KIPP LA schools, man. Need more social workers, man. Need more social workers and people in mental health, for real. Shiloh in the place. Shiloh Taylor, what up? Veronica, my people in here. CC Security Solutions, my man Chris Eggers. Make sure you guys go check out Chris Edwards, man. He's a great dude. retired, reformed police officer up in Northern California, and just a cool ass cat, man. He's got some great business too. Check out his stuff, and make sure you guys check out my man Shaywoon Adedeji. He is, do not sleep on that brother, man. One of the most positive people that I know. Period. Always keeps it moving. Always keeps it moving forward, and is doesn't care about anybody and what their feelings are. He's always like, "Fuck y'all feelings. I got my own." So big shout out to my man Shaywoon. Chef Stacy. What's happening, man? Make sure you guys check out Chef Stacy. I'm not sure if I can talk about your product yet, Chef Stacy, but the kale chips are fucking good. I can't wait to reconnect. And if my team has not reached out to you, we got to before we head out to Vegas next month for the big show. Nathaniel Raymond, what's good? What's good, brother? Puffin Parlay, CC Counts, what up? Puffin Parlay, where y'all been, man? Where y'all been? We got to have like a dope dads, dope moms. Get together, a parental sesh. Gotta have something like that go down pretty soon. Any other questions about Maximilian 420? Seshmaster, Sesamina, what up? Black and Weed, what's good? What's good? All right, good question. All right, so yes, Cannavision Global. And the difference between Cannavision Global and State of Cannabis NewsHour. Cannavision Global is my company, my team. Veronica, hit up Vanessa. And we are a decentralized media broadcast organization. We have broadcasters all over the country, soon to be outside of the country as well. So technically, I'm a multi-state operator myself. And State of Cannabis NewsHour is owned by Susan Soares. And I teamed up with Susan Soares, Nicole West, when they hit me up a few months ago when Clubhouse really was started popping. And they wanted to see if I can get down with their daily news show. We currently have a little over 16,000 members in our Clubhouse, and we do the news every single morning, weekday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific to 10 a.m. And on the East Coast, obviously, noon to 1. So 2 different lanes, very similar mindsets, very similar ethos between us, and it just made sense that we a tag team. And I always try to get on these in the afternoon, especially on the afternoon, to give a deeper dive on the stories that I cover in the morning, because we do only have 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That's about 2 minutes to read our story and 2 minutes and 20 seconds for the audience to chip in, for us to debate, argue. Gets pretty heated in there too. I love it. All right, so any other questions before I head out? Any other questions, comments, critiques, talk some shit, or anybody want to give any shout outs too? I'm always down to give people shout outs and get your messaging out there too. Pop and Parlay, I'm down. Parental sesh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man. Only the dopest of dads and mamas in the building. Obviously, I am the dopest of all dads in Earth 616, if you're down with the MCU. So nobody can fuck with me in my universe. But there's plenty of other dope dads out there too, man. I'd love to have you guys on there. And my mama's out there too. Always show love to the mamas. So one more time, my name is Rico Lamite, CEO, founder of Cannavision Global. And make sure you guys kiss on your mamas, hugging your babies. And remember, when life gives you no place else to turn the fuck up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love.